If you've gotten in a fight over a kitchen appliance, it was probably about this one. Nearly 2/3 of Americans say there's a right way and a wrong way to load a dishwasher. But they don't agree on what the right way is, like whether you should pre-rinse dishes or not, how to arrange stuff in there, and which way to face utensils. One big reason for all this dish-related debate? Most people don't actually have a good sense of what the fork goes on in here, including me, to be honest. So I bought a secondhand GoPro and some waterproof lights and got down to business. This is MinuteFood. I ran this thing every time we ran the dishwasher. I filmed upwards and downwards. I filmed actual used dishes as well as dishes I had smeared with all sorts of stuff, then baked in the desert sun. I washed and washed and watched and watched. I spent so much time watching my dishwasher run that I literally dreamed about it at night. Luckily, I had also lined up some other dishwasher-obsessed people, 2 awesome experts that could help me understand what exactly I was seeing. Now, I have a KitchenAid dishwasher that, thanks to meticulous records taken by the previous owners of my home, I know was bought back in 2015. So while it's a bit of an older model, it is still definitely a modern dishwasher. And most modern dishwashers work in more or less the same way. When you press the start button, you initiate a series of operations based on the program you've selected. We're going to talk about a normal cycle here. Generally, the first thing that happens is a quick draining step, which whisks away any icky liquids that might have dripped off your dishes. Then the pre-wash begins. A valve opens, sending somewhere between a gallon and a gallon and a half of tap water into the main body of your dishwasher, known as the tub. Then the circulation pump starts, sending that water into tubes leading to spinny things known as spray arms. My dishwasher has 3 spray arms, one at the bottom, one under the top rack, and one at the very top, but yours might have fewer. As the water gets pumped into the spray arms, it's forced out tiny holes, which creates a lot of spray and makes the arms spin. All this water flinging around starts washing stuff off your dishes, as well as giving any really stuck-on gunk a good soaking. Note that this is all happening with that initial gallon or so of water, which is just getting pumped around and around and around. Any chunks of food larger than 0.5 millimeter or so get filtered out of the water by a series of sieves. After somewhere between 2 and 10 minutes, that water, which is now pretty gross, drains out the bottom of the tub. Now, the main wash cycle begins. Again, about 1 to 1.5 gallons of tap water enters the tub. A heating element heats that water up to somewhere around 50 or 60 degrees Celsius before it's pumped into the spray arms and starts showering the already much cleaner dishes. And now comes my favorite part. The detergent door pops open. The detergent is ejected, sometimes in a way that seems to defy physics, and sometimes in a way that's less dramatic. Either way, though, the detergent ends up in the water at the bottom of the tub and starts dissolving, which means that at this point, the spray arms start showering detergent-y water onto the dishes. And modern dish detergents work in a bunch of different ways. Some of their chemicals help water and fats, which normally repel each other, to join up, enabling the water to dissolve greasy stuff on the dishes and whisk it away. Another component of the detergent, enzymes, basically digest the food stuck onto dishes, unsticking it. Still other chemicals act as bleaching agents, tackling stuff that stains dishes, like tomatoes and tea. So as that detergent-y water is getting sprayed around, tons of complicated chemistry is happening all over your dishes. After anywhere from 20 to 60-ish minutes, the main wash finishes up. The dirty, detergent-y water drains out of the tub, and it's time to rinse. The tub fills a 3rd time, the water is heated up, gets sprayed all over, washes residue off the dishes, and drains out. This cycle may happen more than once, depending on your dishwasher and the program you're running. Finally, it's time to dry. Because the rinse water was so hot, the dishes, too, were pretty toasty at this point. And on its own, this residual heat can dry most dishes pretty well, with the exception of plastic, which doesn't retain much heat. If you've chosen a cycle with heat dry, the dishwasher will blow hot air into the tub, turning any leftover moisture into steam. Then, ding, your dishes are done. It honestly seems miraculous until you actually understand all the stuff that's happened in there over the course of the wash. If you haven't gotten enough dishwasher footage, head over and join our Patreon community, where we have bonus footage, including an ASMR version. Anyway, now that we have information about what goes on in here, we can start settling some of those disputes that might be dividing your household. First, to pre-rinse or not to pre-rinse. Now, I am a lifelong pre-rinser, but I didn't do it while filming for this video. because I wanted to see how well my dishwasher would fare with super stuck-on stuff. And watching it whisk away sticky peanut butter, hardened hummus, melted-on cheese, congealed egg yolk, and everything else I threw at it made me realize I might have been wrong about pre-rinsing. And the experts confirmed this. Except when stuff is basically baked on, your dishwasher should be capable of getting dishes clean without rinsing them first. And for every minute you spend rinsing, you are wasting, really, somewhere around 2 gallons of water. Instead, all your dishes really need before going in the dishwasher is a good scrape to remove any chunks that you don't want clogging your spray arms, filters, or pipes. I will say that even after learning this, I do sometimes let dirty dishes sit in the sink for a bit and passively get rinsed while we use water for other stuff. I figure this reduces the amount of clog-inducing stuff without wasting extra water. But the bottom line is that pre-rinsing is not necessary in order for a dishwasher to get most dishes, even pretty gross ones, sparkling clean. So consider me reformed. But then we run right into the next debate: how to actually load this thing. And here's what the science says. First, make sure the dirty surfaces of your dishes are facing down, or at least not up. Obviously, you want food and gross water to drain off dishes rather than getting trapped in them. But an equally important reason for downward-facing dishes is that, as you can see here, the highest pressure water comes out of the top of the spray arms. In other words, the water coming from below the dishes is what's going to dislodge the most caked-on gunk. And because the bottom spray arm generally puts out the highest pressure water, you should generally put the dirtiest dishes in the bottom rack. Delicate stuff, like fancy glasses, and lighter stuff, like plastic, should go in the top rack where the spray is a bit gentler and less likely to knock things around. But within a rack, how should you orient dishes? Face them all in one direction? All toward the middle? Is whatever's going on here even remotely okay? The ideal loading pattern actually depends a bit on the specifics of your dishwasher. Basically, how the spray arms are designed and how the racks are configured. So check the manual, which, if you aren't as meticulous as the previous owners of my house, you can find online. It'll show you how to load your dishwasher for the best results. In general, though, you want to put your dishes close together to maximize the amount of stuff you can fit in there. But not too close, because you don't want to block those little streams of water from actually getting stuff clean. If you don't have a full load, a haphazard approach isn't that big a deal. Just avoid overlapping dishes that are particularly dirty. Also, don't load stuff in a way that blocks the moving parts in your dishwasher. Make sure the spray arms can spin, and that nothing keeps the detergent door from opening and popping out the detergent. Finally, let's talk utensils. Should they go in eating surface down or eating surface up? This is a debate I hear about a lot. It's actually the big dishwasher disagreement in my house. But according to the experts, direction doesn't actually matter. Your utensils should get clean whether they're facing up or down. And this was basically confirmed by the vaguely scientific tests I ran. What does matter is keeping utensils from snuggling tight together. In other words, don't let your spoons spoon. Because again, water won't be able to get between them. You can avoid this by mixing up different types of utensils in each bin. Some forks, knives, and spoons in each one. Or by actually putting some utensils face up and others face down. So here, maybe we're both right, albeit for the wrong reasons. If you're doing everything right and your dishes still aren't getting clean, there might be something wrong with your dishwasher. As I was filming, I actually discovered that the middle spray arm wasn't working properly. It turned out to be clogged. So for that alone, I am glad I went on this dishwasher binge. But even on a normal day-to-day basis, knowing how this thing actually works has changed what I expect of it and how I use it. People aren't going to stop arguing about dishwashers anytime soon. I'm sure there will be all sorts of disagreements right here in the comments. But hopefully, this video has also cultivated some dish agreement. Here's a bonus fact. By using a dishwasher instead of hand washing your dishes, you save as many as 230 hours a year. That's almost 10 days. Dishwashers let you spend time on the stuff you want to be doing instead of what you have to be doing. And Stamps.com, the sponsor of this video, is basically the dishwasher of the postage world. It takes care of all the stuff you don't want to deal with. Like no more running to the post office because Stamps.com lets you mail and ship stuff from anywhere. All you need is a computer and printer. They even send you a free scale. You can order shipping and mailing supplies, labels, even printers from the supply store when you run low. And my favorite part, because deciding how to ship stuff is such a pain, you can compare different carriers and automatically see the cheapest and fastest shipping options. You'll also get rates you can't find anywhere else, like up to 89% off USPS and UPS. Put more life into your work-life balance with Stamps.com. If you sign up with promo code MinuteFood, you'll get a 4-week trial, plus free postage, and that free digital scale. And there are no long-term commitments or contracts. Just go to Stamps.com, click the microphone at the top of the page, and enter code MinuteFood. Seriously, this is going to make your life so much easier. Thanks, Stamps.com. All right, thanks.